This episode of the Acts of Geekery Podcast is brought to you by Henchmen Incorporated. Let's face it, being the bad guy is hard work. Between world-ending schemes, money management, and death trap think tank meetings, it doesn't leave much time in the day to make sure your underlings aren't secret double agents or undercover FBI. Leave the heavy lifting and background checks to Henchmen Incorporated. Henchmen Inc. has been finding random mooks and generic soldiers for generations of mad scientists and evil warlords. We offer group discounts, as well as costume packages for new and old masterminds alike. Henchmen Inc. Good help is no longer hard to find. Welcome back to the Acts of Geekery Podcast, episode 37. Yes, 37. I'm
That's
Corey.
true, and I'm Scott.
And we're the Brothers Geek, here to bring you all the geeky things in the world of geekdom.
That Henchman Inc. was quite the mouthful, it sounded like.
Whew. I need like a breather after
that.
But you know what? We love our sponsors, and they love us too. So,
Yes.
And we're not just saying that because they would murder us otherwise. Help us.
Please. The safe word is banana.
Well, Banana, let's go ahead and get to the news.
Psychic, though? That sounds like something out of science fiction.
We live in a spaceship, dear.
So?
It's the news!
Yes.
I love the news.
The news. It's like something out of science fiction. I don't know. Or something out of real life.
Yep.
Regular news.
Yeah, it is pretty much reality.
Terrible jokes
Regular
aside.
non-fiction. Like labeled Acts of Geekery Podcast in the non-fiction section.
Non-fiction.
Or comedy.
I wouldn't mind having
Maybe comedy.
a fictional podcast. We don't really exist, guys. Just so you know.
We're all a part of your imagination. Okay, enough bullcrapping aside, because I can't swear. Let's talk about DC to start the day off.
No. We got other things we got to say. We got some birthdays.
Yes, I'm sorry.
One semi-geeky birthday and a geeky birthday.
They're both very geeky.
Okay, I mean, one's more fantasy
which
geek.
is geek.
All right.
Do not discount my religion.
Your religion of fantasy.
Yep.
That's also your fantasy, to have a religion that is all about fantasy.
Yeah.
Anyways, we want to say happy birthday to two people. Nathan Fillion.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, he turns 44 on the 27th, a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Turned. And happy birthday to Lucy Lawless.
Yeah.
I can almost never say her name.
Lucy Lawless.
And she's turning 47 today.
Congratulations on turning 47.
Yes. And they've all been in all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you don't know these two geek icons,
Where have you been?
why are you listening to this podcast?
Well, so they can find out about them.
Oh, yeah, true. Okay.
And we can
All right.
reveal stuff
All right.
like the DC news.
Yes. Including our first look at Lex Luthor.
Now,
not
we've
Andy
already
Samberg.
seen many Lex Luthors, but in this case, we're talking about the one played by
I'm waiting to see if you know the name.
drawing a blank.
Jessie Eisenberg.
That's right.
In Dawn of Justice.
Yes.
And Scott has been complaining about this for a while now.
Probably back on episode 6 that we talked about how he's going to be playing Lex Luthor, and we were like, he doesn't really have the build for it. He doesn't have his acting chops are kind of they're a different type of role than I would expect Lex to be in.
Yeah.
So, but however, the biggest thing I was worried about was not that, because people can change, they can get better. It was the fact that, as far as we knew, he had not cut his hair at all, or he wasn't going to be bald in the movie. And we were like, no.
Did you? I don't think there was ever a doubt in my mind that he was going to go bald.
I had this horrible sinking feeling that he was only going to go bald right at the end. A big blast of something makes him go bald. And we would have had to spend the entire movie looking at goofy-haired Jessie Eisenberg the whole time.
Because he wouldn't be Lex Luthor without the bald head.
But we just got a released picture on the internet of him bald. I think it's a bald cap. I'm sure it is.
No, it's just his head shaved because you can
think
still
so?
see
Okay.
you can still see hair on it. So
All right. And I think that's what you didn't like.
yeah, I was just I know that he's probably going to wear a bald cap or they're going to touch it up in post production or whatever they're going to do. But I'm like, I can still
by
see
hair,
it.
no, by hair, what you mean is you can see where his hairline was. It's it's a shade of, slightly lighter or darker than the rest of his head.
Are you sure? Because I swear it looked like hair, and we'll pull up the picture here.
Plus, it's also, I told you, it's all super high def, close up, and I think it's his hairline. You
Okay,
can see it.
whatever.
Yeah, and that's what happens when anyone shaves their head bald. If they have actual hair that they're shaving off,
Yeah.
you can still see their hairline because it's either a lighter or a darker shade of skin.
He looks pretty menacing in this picture.
He does. He's got the kind of like, I'm evil and I know it look, or I'm arrogant and I know it, and I have a good reason for it. So
what's your opinion now?
I like the look.
Okay.
So we'll see how he does acting wise when the movie comes out, and hopefully we'll maybe even get to see him say something in a trailer, because if we ever get a trailer,
Yeah, they're not going to come out with a trailer at all.
Yeah.
It's going to be here's the release date and nothing about it, and they're going to see how much fandom they can get.
yeah, we've had the teaser where it's Batman Superman, but that's it.
Yeah, and that wasn't even widely released. That was like found or footage
New York
from
Comic-Con.
from a Comic-Con. We also have for the Suicide Squad a couple things. The first is that Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn will reportedly have a few different looks throughout the movie.
I'm super excited for her to play Harley Quinn, but I'm also nervous because it's such an iconic character, and I'm like, please don't mess it up.
Well, I'm just glad that we're getting a Harley Quinn at all in movies.
True.
And I think that the idea that she's going to wear different costumes throughout really plays into her character.
That's Harley.
Yeah,
Harley
'cause,
changes costumes all the time.
And that can be, a lot of people can be like, oh, well, that's just making a girl superhero change costumes and blah, blah, blah. Like they make Black Widow change her hair for every movie she's in. Mm-hmm. But to be honest, I mean,
she does that in the comics.
Yeah, if the only person, if there's only one thing that you can say about Harley Quinn, it's like that she loves a good wardrobe change.
Yes.
Because, well, she loves the Joker more, but
yeah, and I'm curious to see which versions of the costume they put her in.
yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
We also have a rumor, just a rumor, no confirmation here, that Amanda Waller has a trophy case of superhero paraphernalia in her office.
Okay.
And
makes sense for someone who hunts down superheroes. Because she's the head of Argus, which is Advanced Research Group, something Superhumans.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the rest of it is, but what does the U stand for?
I don't know.
I don't know. But anyways, they go after superhumans that break the law and try to capture them or try to get them on their side, i.e. Suicide Squad. But yeah, Aquaman's trident is going to be in her office. And the funny thing is Suicide Squad is going to come out after Dawn of Justice, right?
Yes, 2016. I think 2016, the same year.
So, which is weird, because maybe he'll lose his trident near the end of Dawn of Justice. If this is true, I mean, obviously it could just be total rumor. I saw a meme, though, that was it was Colonel Flag, Rick Flag, not Colonel Flag, Rick Flag and Amanda Waller talking, and he goes, "You know that he's going to want that back, right?" And she goes, "Yeah, I do." And then it kind of just zoomed in on his trident sitting in the wall in a case.
I'd be okay if that was a line in the movie. Yeah, that would be completely fine with me.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yep. So that's your DC movie news. I mean,
so far,
we didn't really have too much. And so DC comes out with the first look, and then something from Marvel has to respond.
Of course.
And gosh.
They feud, and everyone wins.
Yep, and we definitely win with this
Yes,
podcast. So we'll talk about the reveal that they did. The first look at Deadpool in full costume for the Ryan Reynolds Fox movie coming out.
Oh my gosh. And he's laying in front of a fireplace in the standard sexy person pose, and
yep,
it's
the paint me like one of your French girls pose.
Yes, and he's laying on a bearskin rug.
Yep,
which I just didn't notice that until just now.
I heard a Ryan Reynolds say that no bears were harmed in making of the shoot, but a lot of hearts were.
Okay, and first of all, fantastic costume.
It looks exactly like the Deadpool costume should.
Probably the best costume I've ever seen in a movie.
The closest it's ever been. Except for maybe the old Superman ones, which is just basically the costume.
But
you know?
even then, they don't make. So Superman looks really ripped.
Yeah,
in
that's
the comics,
true.
and he never did in the movies.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds has the body type. He has the mannerisms down. He's got, all the weaponry's there.
The greatest thing about this, I think, is the fact that one of Deadpool's eyes is kind of like half closed, as like he's got this. I don't know how to explain it.
It's
raised eyebrow look.
Yeah,
like,
he's kind of got one of his left eye is squinty.
Yeah,
basically, and it makes it, and it's not his eyes. It's the costume.
mask.
Yeah, the mask is made that way.
I'm wondering if they're going to either do animatronics or if they're like literally gluing the mask to Ryan Reynolds' face so that when he makes facial expressions, it portrays on the mask.
Or
hope
if
it's going to be CG.
I hope it's just going to be that. The
All the
entire
time.
time is just one squint eye as he's talking and everything.
I know. I'm excited for this, mainly because we've been needing a Deadpool movie, of course. And I'm also excited because Ryan Reynolds is really excited about it, too.
Yeah.
Which, it's awesome. I know that actors and actresses and stuff want to be in their movies, and they're usually happy about this. But in this case, he is excited about it. Like,
he's been wanting this for a while now.
For a long time. So
and he did say that they're still debating back and forth on whether or not to make it R-rated.
They need to make it R-rated?
They need to make it R-rated, or they need to come out with an unrated version.
Okay, so have a theatrical cut that we go see, and then when you buy the
you can buy the unrated version, which is going to be so much better.
I will definitely buy it. Yes.
We also have the Russo brothers. You know them, Scott. They directed their Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm.
Great movie.
Yeah, fantastic movie. Best Marvel movie ever.
Second best for me, but yep, great movie.
But they will direct Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and 2.
Which is the Part 1 and 2. I found out that it is in response to the Actors Guild and their 3-movie limit.
Oh, yeah?
If it says Part 1 and Part 2, it still counts as one movie.
Oh, jeez.
So that's how they're doing that with, like, all Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and all them.
Honestly, what I want to see is Part 1 end with the Avengers killed, and a new Avengers has to come in, or not killed, but taken out of the equation.
Okay.
And then you have to get Spider-Man or Luke Cage or Daredevil, new heroes in to take them on.
That'd be
and that
interesting.
way you can introduce your Captain Marvel before her movie comes out.
Yes.
Or after her movie comes out, because I don't know the exact order, but you can introduce her and then say, oh yeah, we need you for the Avengers, they've been taken out, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I think we might see her in Age of Ultron
That's true.
When they do the flashes
There was
of
a rumor
other
going
heroes
around.
fighting, and we're going to see that in the theater, and me and you are going to pretty much be holding hands and be like, oh my gosh,
My wife will be insanely jealous.
yes, because we sit there and we watch TV shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Or Flash.
or Flash or Arrow,
Flash.
or especially Flash. And anytime we see anything from the comics that we did not expect, we both are like hey, like hit each other in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it. Did you hear it?
Yeah. So watching shows with us is kind of fun. If you're ever interested, let us
Because
know.
if it's bad, you will hear it from us, and we will talk about it a lot.
It'll get made fun of a
Yes.
lot.
The last thing that I have for Marvel, really short news for Marvel and stuff this week,
Yeah.
is that Hugh Jackman teases that he's only going to be playing Wolverine for one more movie.
Wonder what that's going to be. Well, it's going to be obviously
An X-Men movie.
Age of Apocalypse, I bet.
No. I would think that they don't have that.
Really?
Yeah, because I think Age of Apocalypse, because it doesn't have Ian McKellen, it doesn't have Patrick Stewart. So I think they're going back to Brian. They're the First Class group.
Okay.
They're getting their young Cyclops, their young Jean Grey, but at that point in the storyline, Wolverine's captured by not Trask. What's his name? The general guy who gives him adamantium.
Oh my gosh,
Stryker, thank you.
I was like, Snyder. No, that's who's directing Batman v Superman. But I wonder what they're going to do then. It'll probably be because The Wolverine was not a bad movie.
No,
I wouldn't say it was a great movie, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed how they portrayed his healing factor in it. Mm-hmm. And of course, you got to see the Silver Samurai and stuff. Which, by the way, we should probably rewatch that. I don't remember too much more about it. Other than the scene where he
Yeah.
gets shot with like 50 arrows.
And the scene where he fights on the train.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much more to that movie, to be honest.
I would love to see Hugh Jackman as Old Man Logan in the Old Man Logan storyline from the comics,
yeah.
where he plays an older Wolverine, and the whole world has been pretty much taken over by supervillains. America's been split up into 5 different sections, basically, for the supervillains have taken over. You've got Red Skull owns a part of it. Doom owns a part of it. The Hulk even has a section. The Hulk and his offspring.
Yeah.
And you get to see Old Man Logan that has vowed to never take the claws out again, but ends up having to save the world and, you know, do all kinds of crazy stuff. But it's awesome because Hugh Jackman's getting older. He's in his 50s, I think, isn't he? Almost.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, and so he's getting a little older, so making him
Old Man Logan would be a really
gray-haired and stuff. I think that would be pretty cool.
because Logan doesn't age like everybody else does.
Right, he just gets a little gray hair.
Yeah, so doing it like, this is 30 years in the future. The problem is you have to change a lot because you can't have the Hulk part and you can't have anything like that. You know, anything that Marvel actually owns, Marvel Disney.
Right.
So it'd have to be Doctor Doom in his area.
The storyline is something like he has to go and rescue this girl from a bad guy.
That's pretty much how every Wolverine movie goes.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't think that guy's a romantic, but apparently all he does is save ladies.
I guess. And be very hairy and short.
Mm-hmm. And say bub a lot.
Yeah, bub.
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 So he saves pretty ladies. He's hairy and short. Wolverine's an Ewok.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Yub. Yub Bub.
Yub Bub.
Moving on to miscellaneous geek news. Not miscellaneous, not like this is just what we decided to throw away.
Just basically what we're saying is non-DC, non-Marvel news.
Yeah. The company known as Fox, the ones who canceled Firefly.
Yes.
And despite the huge outcry to bring Firefly back, have not brought it back.
They canceled Firefly. They canceled
Family Guy twice.
Almost Human. They canceled Family Guy twice.
Futurama.
They canceled Futurama. They have canceled Fringe, I believe, is on Fox as well.
Yep.
And they or at least they shortened it. So they just don't understand how to do business.
No, not really.
Because if it's not what do they call that? Reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not reality TV, they don't like it.
Yeah, it's a bunch of old businessmen who don't really understand the new way the world works.
No, I don't think that's it. I think they understand completely because they are catering to people that love reality TV. I don't know why people love reality TV, but apparently some people do. And that's what they're catering to. They're not catering to geeks.
Yeah.
Which drives us crazy.
Oh.
Yep.
But so a while back, we had a rumor go out that they were looking at reviving X-Files. And everybody on the internet went, yes, give us more X-Files, please, because X-Files is a pretty good show.
Apparently, I
haven't seen it all.
Never get into it.
But I bet if we went back and watched it, maybe we should challenge ourselves to do that.
Yeah, maybe
to go at least watch maybe like the first season or a couple choice episodes, depending on what the internet thinks is the best.
Right.
With this outcry, they basically said, okay, fine, and they've officially ordered it. And I have a feeling that it's part of everybody saying, yes, more X-Files, please, that Fox is like, this is popular, we should bring it back. Yeah. But guess what, Fox? You should have done that with Firefly.
Now, and this is kind of makes me nervous because if they try to do that with Firefly, Joss probably will say no.
Well, I think he owns the right. No.
I don't think he does.
No, the rights are up in the air, though.
Okay. But either way, I think he'll probably say no to directing it, which means Fox isn't smart enough to say, listen, Joss is the only one that's going to be able to do it justice. Yeah, true. And what will happen is one or two of the actors will decide not to do it, and they'll try to replace them with someone else to take the same role. And who wants to watch a Firefly
without Wash?
Without all the same actors? I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't. I would rather just let it die. And if they did a spin-off series called The Verse or something, where it was like we were talking about earlier, like that fan made.
Oh yes, absolutely. Where it's like an anthology.
It's like one season of each of all these different crews and people and stuff. Do a couple seasons of those.
So look at American Horror Story.
Yeah.
American Horror Story is 10 episodes or 13 episodes long. It's one season, is a full story and everything. And yes, some of them can be a little hit or miss. The second season is a prime example.
Right.
But generally, they're really good, and people like it. And people look at these characters, and you get the same actors to play different characters, too.
Yeah, yeah.
But they look at these characters, and they're just like, I love this storyline. And then at the end of the season, they go, this is a complete story for us. You can definitely do that with Firefly, and then it could be like, oh, Firefly Season 1 was the original Firefly.
Right.
And then Season 2 is a whole new ship and a whole new story.
Season 2 is after Serenity.
Yeah.
So after the Alliance has been revealed to be these huge douchebags that did all this chemical testing and medical testing on a planet, and and everyone's kind of, and it's the story of the Alliance falling apart and another government being stood up, and just all kinds of cool stuff like that. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be great. And it doesn't have to be a ship of outcasts like every season. Do an Alliance season. Do a season where there's an Alliance ship that's trying to hold peace together in a system,
Yeah. So back to the X-Files thing. They're reviving it, but it's only 6 episodes long. It's not going to be a full season. It's not going to be a start of a new show. They said it's only 6 episodes, like a 6-episode miniseries, which a lot of people are cool with because they think that, or they hope that it's going to wrap up a bunch of stuff. And I couldn't tell you what needs to be wrapped up because I never watched X-Files.
Yeah.
I tried to watch it growing up, and when it was on TV in its prime time, I was a lot younger, and it was one of those like, oh, I don't really want to be scared by that.
Yeah,
type of a deal.
Don't worry. But that's cool. For you X-Files fans out there, there you go.
You know what else I love?
What
else
you
is cool? I love when they take books and turn them into movies. And I'm not talking Divergent or The Hunger Games. I'm talking books that are
a cool concept,
super hardcore sci-fi or fantasy. And they turn them into a movie that
you were a huge fan of Ender's Game.
I loved Ender's Game, and I love the books too. Well, there's a book out there called Ready Player One.
I've heard of this.
That it's on my list to read. In fact,
it's
I
on
might
my
just
list too.
go buy it and get it on the Kindle so that the next time I'm like, I have a hankering for some reading.
I might go buy it on audiobook, to be honest, because I hear it's read by the
Will Wheaton.
King of the Geeks. Yes, Will Wheaton. And I would love to hear, because most of the time I spend in my day is in a van where nobody else is listening.
Yeah.
So I can sit there and listen to a book.
So this book is really popular right now. It's got on a bunch of bestseller lists, which is great. I think New York Times bestseller at one point. But the concept is Ready Player One. It's in the future, 50 to 100 years or so, and everyone has jacked into a virtual world. A creator of a virtual world came out, and he created the software that basically lets you play in any kind of virtual universe you want.
Cool.
If you want to go into space and fight aliens, you can do that. If you want to stay at home and play something like The Sims nowadays, you can do that. If you want to play World of Warcraft style virtually,
you go home from your job, sit down and plug yourself in,
so you
and
can go
then
to another job,
and then go to your virtual job.
Well, anyways, he has basically said, if anyone can crack the code or find out this, special secret I've embedded in all these,
an
all these
Easter egg,
games,
basically.
Easter egg, then you get my fortune.
Wow.
And so there are many, many people that are trying to. Companies have hired professional gamers to go in and try to crack the codes so that they can get the rights to fortune and the rights to all the software.
Yeah, which is all free.
Which is, right now it's all free.
But these companies want to monetize it.
And the main character is apparently really into 80s trivia, 1980s. And this is what the guy that made the software is into as well. And he's doing really good. He's like leaderboard #1 of finding all these clues. So there's a lot of people after him as well.
Trying to kill him.
Trying to either kill him, get his knowledge, hire him, whatever. Yeah. So they can monetize the world. They can monetize this virtual world.
Cool.
Well, that's a great book.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
There's going to be a movie made of it.
That sounds exciting.
A film adaptation, and it's going to be directed by Steven Spielberg.
That is a huge name.
That is a very huge name.
Like, you call up this author and being like, hey, we're going to make a movie about your book. Oh, great. Who are you going to get to direct it? Steven Spielberg? What?
Yeah, seriously. So, exciting news. Steven Spielberg, so far, has he done anything that's just totally flopped?
There's been a few things that haven't done so well, but mostly he's been really good.
Titanic?
He didn't do Titanic.
Who did Titanic? James Cameron did Titanic.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Sorry, not.
I mean,
Jurassic Park.
first of all, Steven Spielberg made. Was it Steven? Yeah, he made the summer blockbuster.
Yeah,
like with Jaws.
yeah.
So
Jaws, Jurassic Park. He's been.
Saving Private Ryan, I think was his.
He's been in a whole bunch of other movies as a co-producer, which made them really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Schindler's List. Sorry, Schindler's List is his. I don't know if Saving Private Ryan is or not.
You hear the name Steven Spielberg, and synonymous with mostly good movies.
Yeah.
So
And
he's going to be directing it, which is awesome.
Yep, and he can do an adaptation right. So
And nowadays, sci-fi is starting to gain steam. We're seeing more and more of them.
yeah,
And I'm excited.
it
I'm so
ebbs
excited.
and flows. You'll get more fantasy. You'll get more sci-fi. Actually, you know what? You never really get fantasy. We don't get too many fantasy movies these days.
It's hard to do because I think that there's less big hits of fantasy than there are of sci-fi.
Not a lot of people like to go and sit down and watch elves run around on screen. So
Yeah, they don't want to go see a medieval movie with monster. I mean, yeah. Plus, and what I mean by hits and stuff is not only people, is a lot of fantasy movies get made and they're actually pretty bad.
it's true.
What was the most recent one with Jeff Bridges?
Seventh Son.
Seventh Son. That looked fantastic on the trailers.
But it tanked and
It tanked and it was terrible. So,
alrighty, let's move on to Sony. Sony Pictures.
we didn't like them so much.
Yeah,
We like them a little more now that they said, "Hey, here's Spider-Man."
we're sharing Spider-Man.
Yeah, have it.
Well, they've decided, you know what? Marvel has a franchise. We need to develop a bunch of our own.
Okay.
I think they're doing the Ghostbusters franchise. I think they're the ones behind the Ghostbusters. They're doing the Men in Black 22 Jump Street or 21 Jump Street crossover that might be in the works.
Oh, that was that rumor.
Yeah.
That's probably not going to happen. Although they did all the Men in Blacks, and I loved all those. So.
Well, they have decided that one of their franchises should be Robotech.
And I don't know what that is.
Robotech is an old anime. It's pretty much one of the first giant mech suit fighting robot animes out there.
All right.
It's also been a couple games. I just wanted to mention it for you Robotech fans. If you're not a fan of it, but it sounds interesting. It's really just giant robots fighting each other.
Hey,
It's almost like Gundam.
Pacific Rim, man.
Oh yeah, and we'll get to some Pacific Rim stuff later.
If you can make it quality level of Pacific Rim and graphics, I'll go see it.
Yep,
I'm
I'm
cool
all
with giant
there.
Robots fighting.
We also have Masaoka. You know him.
No, I don't.
Yatta! Hiro Nakamura from Heroes.
Right.
Well, he's going to be Hiro Nakamura again.
And Heroes Reborn.
Yeah. I hope that he plays kind of an older, wiser character now instead of the bumbling fool that he was in Heroes.
In Heroes, if you actually watch the whole season, he meets his future self.
Oh, he does?
And his future self is got a perfect handle on his powers. He's really good with his sword that he gets.
Nice.
Because he actually goes back in time and to what they call it, feudal Japan.
Yes.
And meets samurais and stuff and gets trained by them.
Oh, cool.
Basically. And that's in Heroes. And then he meets his future self, and his future self is on the ball, confident, ready to go. And his accent is even mostly gone.
That.
It's funny because, yeah, I don't know. And I think he played a great. He
was one of my favorite characters in Heroes.
And he had his power was to travel through time or stop time.
And teleport.
True.
He could just regularly teleport, which is great for a swordsmaster.
But near the end, I think he had a brain tumor or something, and it's really weird.
Okay.
The way they kind of wrapped his story up or started to wrap it up, he had a brain tumor and he was going to end up dying if he kept using his powers, and it's mainly because his power is too powerful.
Yeah.
Oh no, a nuke goes off. Boop, whoop, back in time.
Yep.
He can warn someone about it, find out, get out of the way.
True. That's why you don't see too many people with time travel.
And if you do, you don't see them because they're usually really smart and hiding.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and talk about name reveals. We got a couple this week. Neither of them I'm overly excited for. First of all, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 movie got name dropped by a basketball player in the NCAA, the National College Association.
Why did he know about it?
I have no idea, but he said
this
that
could be a total rumor.
no, it's not.
I mean, I
guess it says supposedly.
I don't go and say, all right, basketball player, has all the knowledge. How? Why?
Basketball star JJ Redick. Actually, he's with the Clippers and the Knicks. But
no, he's not. Anyways, yeah, okay. He has a scene in the film.
Okay,
that's why.
Okay, then, so it could be a placeholder,
or he could have been told to say that.
Yeah, but the apparent placeholder is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles half shell, not
Heroes in a Half Shell.
No, it just says half
Turtle
shell.
Power.
All
right, I have to finish it.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I think maybe that is just a shortened version of Heroes in a Half Shell.
If we get Bebop and Rocksteady in it, I'll go see it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be Redbox.
Yep.
Because TMNT, meh, super meh.
Yep.
So.
And then we also have the title for the Walking Dead spin-off show, which is going to be more dealing with a group in California during the early days of the plague and everything.
Because in The Walking Dead, Rick...
It's a 28. Yeah, it's like a 28 days later scenario.
Yeah, he wakes up and it's weeks after, or like 2-3 weeks after the.
I'm not even sure if it's weeks. It could be months
after the outbreak happens. He wakes up in hospital and everything's already done.
Yeah,
he did not go through any of that.
Running or.
I think some of his flashbacks is right before he went in the coma. There was like some report of a lady that bit someone. That was pretty much it. That's the only thing you hear about it, other than.
Yeah, I think there were a couple flashbacks of his wife in the show where she watched like them evacuating and everything.
Yeah, so we don't know really what happened. We don't know any of the details about why they couldn't stop it or anything like that, or if they even tried.
Yeah.
So this one's called Fear the Walking Dead, and like you said, follows that group in California. I don't know. This one I'm not actually too upset about.
I don't. It just seems like a play on, because
it's a money grab.
Yeah, it is definitely a money grab, and that's the problem I have. Like if it were just called Fear, or if it were just called something without the Walking Dead in it, I'd be okay with it. But where they're clearly saying this is a Walking Dead spinoff, they might as well just call it Walking Dead spinoff show.
Walking Dead
Power Hour,
the prequel. Walking Dead, the prequel. The Walking Dead Power Hour. I like that. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, whatever.
And that's kind of actually my favorite part about zombie movies, though. I don't care about people trying to survive after the infection. I like to see all the chaos and stuff that happens when it's starting.
Yeah.
I like to see, and this is not just, I'm not like an anarchist or anything. I love to see chaos and stuff like that. I mean, I do play a chaos mage in our tabletop game, but that's besides the fact.
That's a different type of chaos, people. It's literal.
But I like to see what the portrayal is for, say, the government. How does the government react to this? How do local people react to this? Does everyone go out and just stock up on a bunch of food, or do people just go, well, I guess we're screwed? You know,
you need to read World War Z. Like, seriously,
I tried.
You need to try again.
I couldn't get into it.
It's just that's exactly what you're looking for, though. It talks about how the government tried to handle it at first. It talks about the early days of the plague and everything. Like, jeez.
All right,
get past the first few stories, because the first few stories are kind of like, this is our first little hints that something was coming.
I should probably either borrow it from you, or I should put it on the Kindle.
Yeah.
And then if I can get it on Kindle or something, then I could read it, while I'm on the train, or when I'm bored at night or something.
Do you read it on a train? Is it okay in a plane?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, sir, you can't take that copy of World War Z on the plane with you. It's going to upset the other customers.
The TSA is going to confiscate it.
And they're just reading it in the back.
Yeah, no kidding.
I've always wanted to read this.
I've actually heard many stories of TSA agents where they confiscate stuff, or as they're scanning a bag through when you check your bags or whatever, they'll pull it aside and like your iPad will be missing all of a sudden. And it's like, well, it just got lost when we were transporting it. Bull crap,
Yeah.
And I've heard of a couple people that got fired for stealing iPads, laptops, phones, all kinds of crazy stuff from people's bags.
Oh, it bugs me so bad.
But then again, but those were like very few and far between. I bet there's a lot more that goes on.
Oh, yeah.
in there. So.
Yep. You have to be very careful. I mean, just check your bag.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, and I said checked bags before, and that's not what I meant. I meant like
carry-ons.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Have you ever been on a plane before?
no, I've never been on a plane before.
Yeah.
Never ever.
I've been on once.
I've been to the airport once, twice.
I've been to the airport.
I dropped someone off and I picked them up, and that was pretty much it.
All right.
And now I just tell them to take the green tracks line, the light rail, and
Yeah. It'll get you
if
there.
I was going to go to the airport, I would drive to. I'd have someone drop me off at our local train station. I could just drive a couple stops.
Yeah.
Hop on the one that goes right to the airport. So much easier than like going through all that.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about
highway.
anything.
But yeah. TSA agents, they're the cause of the zombie outbreak.
way to bring it back
Sure,
to geek stuff for us. All right, let's go ahead and get into the casting couch portion of our geek news.
All right.
We have another Preacher casting. Cassidy the Irish Vampire, who is the partner for the main character, like he's his best friend.
His right-hand man.
Yeah. And yes, he's an Irish vampire.
He's Chaz. He's the Chaz to
he's
Constantine.
The Chaz to Constantine.
Yeah, he's the Gordon to Batman. Or the Robin to Batman.
Yeah, it would be Robin.
I
It
don't
would be
know.
partner.
Yeah.
So, but Joseph...
He's the Cisco to Flash.
Yes. His name is Joseph Gilgun, who has the part. And I think he's another TV actor.
Probably. I mean, he doesn't have as good a name as Arseface from the last time, though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that is hilarious.
Have you ever seen that guy before?
Yes, I have. Yeah, he's.
Walk Out, Harry Brown. This is England.
Yeah, he's a lot of TV series stuff going on. So,
Alrighty.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So, congratulations to him.
Yeah, I'm excited. I hope the Preacher does well.
We have an early talks casting where Idris Elba is in early talks to play the villain in the next Star Trek movie.
Someone we don't like that much right now.
Yeah, it's like
He's a good actor, though. I think he plays his parts pretty well. I wonder what he's going to be.
Klingon.
Think so?
Well, he's I hate to say it, but he's a black guy in a Star Trek movie.
Yeah, but General Martok from Star Trek, white guy.
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd played a white Klingon,
True.
white guy Klingon.
True.
There's quite a few of them.
Yeah, but it's easier.
You're thinking about Michael Dorn, pretty much the most iconic Klingon.
I'm sure there's a few
Worf,
more out
so.
there that are.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited. I love Star Trek.
I think he can play a good Klingon, though.
they need to make more.
They were
Star Treks.
talking. They were talking about a Klingon war in Star Trek.
Yeah, and
So-
I kind of hope that I would love. You know, we talked about your pick of the week about a month ago,
Was it yours?
a couple months ago. It was yours. Star Trek Axanar.
Axanar, yeah.
Coming out. It's a full-length movie that's being made and funded and shot and stuff. And I hope they kind of like they do the same kind of tie into them.
Yeah.
I know they probably won't directly,
No.
but I hope that Axanar is between like Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 3, and you
Yeah.
get to see all the cool stuff that happens between the two of them.
Yeah,
you know?
I really hope that that's the case. Probably not.
Actually, I lied. It would not be between the two of them because Axanar is actually before even the reboot.
That's right. They were building.
I'm totally
the
wrong.
Constitution.
They haven't built it yet. Although I would love to see their little 7 years war with the Klingons. I would love to see that backstory be carried on in Star Trek 3.
Yeah.
And there's been this uneasy peace between the two of them for a while.
That's going to break down.
And Kirk does something to set it off.
Of course, they already did something. They went to Klingon territory.
That's true. They went to Kronos and they went to get
I know the whole point
Benedict
of the
Cumberbatch.
Yeah, I know the whole point of Into Darkness was Peter Weller wanted to start the war up again or something like that.
He wanted to turn Starfleet into a
military,
more militaristic, and that's why he built the USS Vengeance, a giant
Dreadnought.
ship.
Yeah,
Such a cool ship.
Yep. And I know that he wanted to go and bomb the Klingons just for that reason, right?
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much just wanted to start the war up.
Yeah. So, I mean, but Kirk might have done that already by ending up in Klingon territory.
So speaking of Axanar, there's a company out there called StarCraft Models and StarCraftModels.com, and that's not StarCraft the game. It's like Star Space Craft Space Models. They're making all the ships from Star Trek Axanar as models you can build, and they're not expensive ones. They're like $60 to $100 for a model kit.
Wow.
so you can build it, put it together. They've got the Ares class, and all the different Klingon ones.
If you guys haven't seen Star Trek Axanar, the little documentary,
check it out. It's so cool.
Again, we get pick of the week yet again because it is that cool. And to all those people who are out there saying, well, why aren't you guys talking about the Star Trek new TV series that's being developed? That's a rumor and it's been debunked. So
yeah, unfortunately.
However,
I don't know if the world is ready for another Star Trek series.
I think we are.
Because Enterprise got canceled before its run was over.
Yeah.
I have to show you the concept for the NX-01 Enterprise refit.
Oh, really?
In season 5.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty cool looking the way they add a couple things to it, but that got canceled before their run was going to be done. They only did 4 seasons. Voyager didn't do very well.
Yeah.
Because UPN kind of tanked.
Yeah.
When Enterprise was going on, and they canceled it, and no one else wanted to pick it up because the budget to making a Star Trek show has to be huge.
Yeah, you kind of are.
There's a lot of special effects going into it.
And that was the thing is they canceled a whole bunch of shows and then just rebooted, and it blew up again.
Yeah.
So I think we might be ready for one.
Maybe. A lot of people want the Star Trek animated series to come back. We're talking.
I would watch an animated Star Trek.
In good animation, good quality. So I don't know. That would be kind of cool too.
Yeah.
Maybe even like Clone Wars style, where it's
no. I don't want.
You don't want
that
3D.
I don't want the CG crap.
Right.
Let's get a classic animated TV show.
All right.
You know what? Full Hanna-Barbera. They run along the same scenes. They make the same movements.
They have that already. It's called Star Trek the animated series.
I know.
But I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I would watch the crap out of a Star Trek TV show. I don't care what it is,
day and night.
But I don't think it would do very well.
We already watched the crap out of Star Trek TV series.
I know.
Next little bit of casting news. X-Men Apocalypse has cast Jubilee. It is Lana? Is that her name? Lana Condor? Is her last name?
Lana or Lana?
Yeah.
Lana.
She does not have any credits to her name on IMDb.
Huh.
She is completely new to the scene.
Makes me wonder if she is a friend of someone that works at Fox.
Maybe.
Or a daughter that wants to get into...
Yeah.
I don't know.
But she kind of looks like Jubilee, so that's fine.
Sure. Was Jubilee Asian descent? I don't know. Because in the TV show...
90s, everybody was kind of mixed.
They were ambiguous.
They were all very ambiguous.
Yes.
Because it was supposed to be in the future a little bit. And, race never really played into it. But Jubilee did kind of look a little Oriental.
I guess.
Asian,
yeah, okay.
And then we also have more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 news. They have snagged Alessandra Ambrosio for a role unspecified. She is a Victoria's Secret model. So, Micheal Bay, stop. And I posted something about Micheal Bay.
Stop making movies that you would masturbate to.
Yes.
That is basically what he does.
Yeah. He's just I want the hottest girls.
That's why I picked Megan Fox. That's why I picked the other girl in Transformers 3.
Yeah. So I posted something on the Facebook page before we started the episode that was a fan-made Micheal Bay rejected script for The Dark Knight.
Okay.
And it is freaking hilarious.
All right. So check that out on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Acts of Geekery.
And there's
ACTS, not AXE.
Yes. And there's one point in it where he says that a girl walks in, she is... Hold on, I have to pull it up because I have to read it here.
All right. This is great podcasting.
Oh,
right
absolutely.
Here. Nothing's prepared.
Well, if you weren't...
We're not ready for anything.
But this makes it real, Scott. This makes it real.
Oh, it's very real.
We pan to a beautiful woman, platinum blonde with a huge rack.
Oh my gosh.
She is the hottest woman in the world, but she wears glasses because she is also the smartest woman in the world. This is not an actual Micheal Bay script.
Okay.
This is just a fan, but that sounds exactly like something Micheal Bay would do.
If that is how he writes his scripts, how does he make any money whatsoever? Because that is like a 15-year-old kid that, like I said, wants a movie to masturbate to, writes something. She's the hottest in the world, but she wears glasses because she's also the smartest.
And apparently that character was supposed to be Rachel Dawes, which is in The Dark Knight, not a blonde-haired person, and not particularly like, super attractive or anything.
And not particularly a liker of men, so yeah, Micheal Bay wouldn't have been able to get with her.
And on the front page, it's a note from the people that says, "Sorry, Michael, we've decided to go in a different direction."
Yeah, which is running very fast and very far away from you.
The first line is, "We open on the Pentagon with an American flag," and then in quotes it says CG in the background, waving in the background. And I'm like, oh geez, this is such a Micheal Bay.
Because you can't even put a real flag in. You have to CG it.
Batman, it comes to Batman, and he goes, and time to suit up. And it goes back in black, AC/DC, doing a whole kind of Joe Schumacher style of him getting dressed. And then at the end, he goes...
He puts on his American flag cape and then realizes it's the wrong cape and takes it off.
And at the end, he goes, back in black. And then there's explosions in the background. Like
the Batcave explodes.
Go read the that we posted up because
that is a total Micheal Bay movie. You know what?
Yes.
If he can make money doing that and millions, why can't we? Why can't we just make a movie just like that? Come on. We can explode. We can make stuff explode.
Yeah.
We can find attractive women.
But would you feel good about yourself afterwards?
If I made $10 million, you bet. I wouldn't care. Pretty much my $10 million, most of my morals go out the window. Everything except for like murder and like rape. Like I don't, that's still like there. I don't, I don't get rid of those. But if it's like,
$10 million if you eat this bug.
I'd be halfway through before they finish. What? You have to eat this plate of bugs. What were we saying?
Oh, yeah, man.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for the news. Let's go ahead and move on to the trailers and videos.
Master Wayne, I've urgent news. Two-Face is robbing the bank.
Looks like it's time to test the new features on the Batmobile.
Oh, what's that?
It's my new 60mm cannon.
A cannon?
Yeah.
So what about the whole I never use guns thing?
I never use guns.
Well, what is that?
I told you, it's a cannon. Oh, and check this out.
What's that then?
It's a Vulcan gun.
So it is a gun?
No, I never use guns.
Do you want to start after the clip, or do you want me to?
No, you go.
Okay, go. All right, it's trailers and videos.
Yay. It's a Vulcan gun.
It's time to talk about the different trailers that came out this week and
the different videos.
Yeah.
So amazing how.
It's kind of like we titled it. You know what it is. We don't we don't beat around the bush with the Acts of Geekery Podcast.
Yeah, we don't pull any punches.
Did I say beat around the bush?
I think
sure.
so.
Why not? Sure.
Why not?
Yeah. All right, Scott. This
All right.
is your game. I do the news. You take over.
You
here.
wash your hands of it.
So
the first video that we want to talk about today is Mission Impossible 5.
Rogue Nation.
Yes, we finally have a full trailer for this, and it looks pretty dang good.
You know what? Okay, I am not a big action movie fan.
Right.
Never got into Die Hard. Never did Lethal Weapon.
I'm kind of the same.
Never really did even Mission Impossible. I mean, it wasn't... This one, it looks like they're having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. And
most of that Simon Pegg.
Yeah. I think that's what did it. Is I look at it and I'm like, I probably would have went and saw it just because I actually enjoy Tom Cruise as an actor. A lot of people don't. A lot of people give me crap for it, but I think he's just fine.
I respect him more after Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we need to show to the parents.
Yeah.
I can't believe we haven't even brought that up. It's out. It's out there. So.
But I have respect for him. I think he's a great actor.
Okay.
Yeah, he may be a little nuts and kind of short. I love how he's really short. He's like 5'8" or something like that.
Yeah.
And
he could have made a good Wolverine.
They make him taller for everything, you know. And he's still in really good shape for being 53, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, he's
getting up there. But
he doesn't look his age at all.
No, he doesn't. But
I don't know what that man does, but I want to find out about it.
He carrots. That's a secret.
Carrots. Lots of carrots.
Just eat them.
So him and
Tons of them.
Penelope Cruz.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, full trailer for Mission Impossible 5. We'll be posting a link to those on Facebook later, and you can watch that later this week, I should say.
Yeah.
But probably around Tuesday, Wednesday-ish or so.
Yeah, let's
like
try
that.
for then.
Yeah.
Let's try.
Let's try.
Let's try.
Yeah, we figured it out. We can probably do it just fine.
Yes.
Anyways, that one's really cool, and I'm excited for that. Of course, Simon Pegg always brings a great character to anything he's in.
Yeah.
I loved him as Scotty in Star Trek. I loved him in the Cornetto trilogy. I mean, just everything he's in, it seems to just be
Brighten
great
the
at.
mood.
And he's just great. Great. And he can play. He's always the comedy relief, but not in a bumbling idiot way.
No, he's like, I'm smart, but I'm still kind of goofy, and everybody loves me. You know. Yeah.
And so the next one you actually brought up to me, and I had not even seen this at all.
I am so happy that I follow the pages that I follow.
This is so cool. So it is a anime short
called TIE Fighter.
Called TIE Fighter, yep. And it is basically a fan-made film, an animation, 2D animation that's kind of in that anime style. And when we said it kind of looked actually a lot like Martian's successor Nadesco, which is a short,
which is an anime that anime buffs don't even know about. Like,
it is so good though.
Like I've talked to anime friends, and I'm like, "Have you ever seen Nadesco?" And they're like, "No, what's that?"
Everyone's seen Trigun,
yeah,
and it's kind of the same thing. Trigun's like a 1 season long, 10, 15 episodes, and then it's finished and it's all wrapped up. This is the same thing, but it's all about space robots, space battles. Anyways, this is and you heard the word TIE Fighter, which means you probably think it's Star Wars, and you'd be correct.
Yep. It is a Star Wars anime short from the Empire's perspective,
right? Tracking down a bunch of rebels and stuff,
and an asteroid field,
hunting them down and destroying them,
and getting into a space battle.
And which it is good.
It's amazing.
Bravo!
It's a lot of fun.
Bravo to whoever made this. I would watch a TV series with this, or a full length movie even in this style of animation. And it kind of reminded me of Transformers the movie from 1986. The same kind of style, the same kind of noises.
Yeah.
I looked at it and I was like, yeah, this is kind of like Transformers, which, by the way, best Transformers movie ever.
Yeah, if you really want to see like the ultimate Transformers movie, go see the 1960 or 86 Transformers the movie, all animated. Greatest soundtrack in a movie for the 80s, in my opinion.
My gosh. So many power ballads in that thing. Oh, it's great. So the next one on our list is a video of Tom Hanks acting out every single one of his movies in about 7 minutes.
Which I watched this video and then went, there's a lot of Tom Hanks movies that I haven't seen, apparently.
There's a lot that I'm like, never even heard of that one. But that's to be expected. And however, the funniest part of this, and you'll notice this when the crowd laughs as well, is when he does the ones that everyone knows. Yeah. Saving Private Ryan, Forrest Gump, Castaway,
Toy Story.
Everyone, and he does a little bit better at those than the other ones. Sleepless in Seattle's another one that's really popular. Big was in it. But he just kind of acts him out, and he changes wardrobes really quickly. And I think it was on the Tonight Show.
It was on one of the late show things.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It was really funny, though. Really funny.
Yeah. This next one kind of came out of nowhere.
And the internet exploded.
Yeah, they loved it.
The internet loves to explode. I mean,
yep. I mean, you talk about exploding kittens on the podcast, but really, it should be exploding internets.
Exploding internets. This one is called Maggie, and it is a trailer for Arnold Schwarzenegger's new movie. No, not Terminator Genesis,
which had a new TV spot, but
TV spot, but it was just kind of the same thing we saw from the first trailer. Just they cut out a lot of it. But this is his daughter. This is a zombie movie.
Yeah.
His daughter is infected with the zombie virus, and he is trying to protect her from having to go into quarantine, or from people that are trying to come and kill her because she's a zombie, and they don't want it to spread.
And it talks about, there's just interesting implications. It's a completely different take on zombie movies, if you've ever seen one before. Because, again, you were talking about Fear the Walking Dead, how it's like the early days. This is kind of that situation where they're like, we have this under control. It's the early days of the plague and everything like that. But it's still kind of one of those things where do we kill this person because they're infected and are trying to bite people,
or do we put them in a quarantine zone and hope that a cure can be created?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
It looked very interesting. It didn't look like anything I've ever seen from Arnold Schwarzenegger before.
Which is awesome. And I mentioned this to you, but I said, this is what Arnold needs to do from here on out, because he is too old to play a convincing action hero, but he is still good enough to play the
grizzled
old father badass, basically.
Yep. Yeah.
Where he
grizzled badass,
protecting his family, protecting his town, like he did in The Last Stand,
which didn't get good reviews critically.
I thought he did a good job.
I thought it was a fine movie.
Yeah, the plot was kind of weak, but
that wasn't Arnold's fault.
No, that wasn't. I mean, the whole plot revolves around a guy gets a sports car, and is able to outrun everything. I'm like, no, sorry. There's a lot faster vehicles out there, and I'm not talking road vehicles.
Yeah,
and they can't stop him, and so Arnold's town is the last one between here and Mexico.
Yeah, they're like literally building a bridge to Mexico.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah,
but he played a good job, and he played up a lot of he was like, I'm one day away from retirement type of a deal. And in this one he's a father of this girl, and he's trying to protect her, and and there's a lot of him carrying a shotgun around and fighting with other people, and he's not doing a lot of action scenes. It's just
kind
more
of more him wanting to be a good father for his daughter and saying that he'll always protect her.
And I don't know. I'm excited for
Basically, he's the governor.
Pretty much.
The Walking Dead.
Pretty much. If you know anything about that character, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Next, we have a fan film trailer that came out for a movie called Predator: Dark Ages. I showed this one to you. You were not impressed with it.
No. So by Predator, we mean the Predator.
Yeah.
The one that Arnold faced back in the 80s. That one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I didn't think I could do that. I was really nervous there.
On call.
Yeah.
On command.
On command.
And it's basically what would happen if the Predator came back to medieval times.
Well, and the whole premise behind the Predator was they come to different planets and they just hunt every now and then.
It's their rite of passage for their adolescent predators.
So it's kind of understandable that they would have come during other times in human history if they were that evolved then. But
I look at it like, is that really a challenge? Here's a spacefaring species come and attack people with swords, and all these people that have swords and arrows are gonna go, it's a demon.
Yeah, and try and hit him with swords and arrows, and it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna do anything. He's wearing armor. I mean, Arnold could barely even defeat him with modern technology at the time, and
1970s technology.
Yeah.
I don't think that predators are just about, let's go hunt. It's not like human hunters where we take something that's super advanced and go hunt a deer,
Yeah.
It's predators where you will go and you will have what they consider the bare minimum technology, which is still a cloaking field, a gun,
a big laser guided gun,
yes.
A nuke to blow yourself up if you get captured.
Yep. But you will go down and you will fight these people to prove that you are a true warrior and a true hunter.
It's about a 1.5 long video. Kind of interesting. Like I said, I was kind of underwhelmed. It was whatever. But we thought we'd put it out there. Well, don't let anyone ever say that we are pretty biased.
Yeah, I mean,
we're mostly biased.
Mostly biased.
But not completely biased.
We can't have that as the title again, Scott. It's going to confuse people. Mostly biased part 2.
Part 2. The biasing. So the next one we've got is a trailer for Mortal Kombat X, or Mortal Kombat 10.
We saw a few trailers.
We've seen a couple of them beforehand, and this one was... it was in English, but all the subtitles and all the things on the screen were Russian.
Yeah.
So
it was very hard to
it's kind of understand, because you couldn't tell who that person was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was like supposed to be big reveals, and it's kind of like, oh, well, I don't know who you are in the game.
Yeah,
so.
and I can't read Russian, so couldn't tell you. fans of Mortal Kombat will probably like it because it shows a lot of because a lot of people were like, "Where's the gore? Where's the because that's kind of Mortal Kombat's thing. They're blood and gore.
Oh yeah, we should mention this is a not safe for work trailer. There's a lot of gore and violence.
Yeah, you don't want to watch this at home on your own computer.
There were plenty of times where Scott and I went, we
were like,
oh man.
Yeah, I mean they're dismemberment, disboweling, all kinds of stuff. So if you like Mortal Kombat, you'll like that. All right, so the next one that we want to talk about is James Bond is back.
Yes, Spectre, the movie that Scott never remembers what it's for. If I just call it Spectre.
I will now. And the reason why is because every time you say Spectre, guess where my mind goes? StarCraft.
Really?
Ghosts.
Oh, yeah, Spectres. I thought it would be like the Spectre, who is a DC hero.
No, not there.
All right.
No, it's more like I see that and I'm like, ooh, a new sci-fi movie. And oh, wait, it's just James Bond.
No, it's just James Bond.
But it's kind of like it deals with a little bit of the aftermath of Skyfall and the problems with MI6 and Yeah, and I've always liked Daniel Craig as Bond. I thought he has done a great job at it. I think he's probably my favorite Bond.
Yeah, he did fine.
Who else you got?
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan.
I like Pierce Brosnan. Yeah. He's
too pretty boyish for me.
He's the Bond, he's the pretty boy Bond that I grew up with, which as the secret agent of the day, it was all suave man and everything like that.
But he doesn't hold a candle to Kingsman.
No,
as far as that goes.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
and then you've got Sean Connery.
Sean Connery is pretty good. Again.
And then Roger Moore?
Roger Moore, and then there was another one for a few movies. I don't know either of them. But I grew up with Pierce Brosnan, so he's my favorite. GoldenEye, you played as Pierce Brosnan. He was on the cartridge that you put in the N64. Yeah. So there's no way I can't like him. I think Daniel Craig is a new modern version of the spy, but I think that it the way that they're doing James Bond kind of counters the way that James Bond is supposed to be written, because they're doing kind of the more rough and tumble, always gets beat up kind of spy, when every other James Bond has been the gentleman spy, kind of that I have a gun, but I'm going to try and use my words to get out of situations first. And they're doing how much spy work does James Bond actually do in the past couple movies that you've seen him in? Not too much. Casino Royale, he did a little bit where he, played the cards and everything.
A lot of people didn't like that because it wasn't as action-packed.
Yeah.
As a different Bond movie. So.
But Quantum of Solace, he really didn't do much spying. He ran around after people and attacked and tried to escape him once they found out he was there. Yeah. And then Skyfall was pretty much all him running all the time. He didn't really do much spy work. Archer's a better spy than James Bond is.
So earlier in the podcast, we talked about chaos.
Yes.
And how I like my chaos mates, but not actual chaos. But anyways, there's a new trailer for Mad Max Fury Road called Chaos.
Which this whole movie just looks nuts.
It looks crazy. and oh my gosh, I'm actually really excited for this. I hope that it's good, because it'll be good. It's going to be one of those like dumb fun, monster trucks and cars with spikes on them, and it's going to be like Death Race meets Fast and Furious kind of a deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know that you'll have to check the link out when we post it. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll talk about the next one since it's mostly my stuff.
All right.
There was a game that I used to play called Star Wars Battlefront. It's a first-person shooter where you play as clones or droids or rebels or stormtroopers, and it's basically kind of classic deathmatch style. Run around a map. You have one of 5 different class choices, and you shoot people. Simple game.
Yeah.
Very fun. Star Wars Battlefront 2 added with that. You got to play as Jedi sometimes. You got to play as Sith. You got to drive around in spaceships. You got to do ship combat, which is really cool. You got to use a TIE bomber every now and then. And now they just released a teaser for a new one that's coming out, and they said that keep an eye on like Star Wars Celebration, which is going on I think soon, and the full trailer will come out. I'm excited for it.
I kind of liked it. It shows you the I don't know if it's a rebel or a stormtrooper, but he's walking through Hoth, the snow planet, and he sees a speeder. A snow speeder crash in front of him, and then he turns to the right and he looks, and there's this giant AT-AT foot that comes down and lands like right in front of him on the ground. It was pretty cool. Yeah, but it was just a teaser. It was only about 20-30 seconds or so.
We had another teaser for Halo 5.
Yeah.
Which I watched, and it was 15 seconds long of a bullet hitting the Halo mask and exploding it, and then saying the title, and I was like, "No, we're not doing that."
Yeah,
that doesn't even.
There was also a teaser for the Walking Dead spinoff we watched. It just came out just today.
Yeah, as we were recording, and we're like, "Ooh, we can get in on the ground floor on this." It doesn't really show much.
Good morning, Los Angeles. There's a nice weather today. Make sure you get your flu shots, but also there's been some weird reports about crazy virus going around. So if you don't feel very good, make sure you stay indoors and take care of yourself.
Yeah, and then it shows you one zombie in a tunnel
walking in a tunnel. Yeah, I'm like, nope, sorry. I guess we already covered it. Yeah, so we weren't planning on it, but
well, there you go. Yeah, let it not be said that we are not. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So Corey.
Yes.
You like The Flash?
I do like The Flash. I love The Flash. The last couple episodes of The Flash are absolutely just like off the wall amazing.
Do you like gospel music? I knew I'd get you right there.
Now I like Gregorian chant type music. And that kind of a cappella.
Now, gospel music, the style is all right.
Yes.
I don't necessarily like the content or the lyrics, but the style's kind of cool. Okay. It's acapella-y, but it's like acapella meets opera type of a deal. Well, anyways, the cast of The Flash.
Yeah, what does this have to do to relate to each other?
The cast of The Flash has released a video of Cisco Ramon. Okay. These are character names.
The actors who play the characters.
Eddie Thawne. And Joe
West.
That's right.
Detective
My brain
West.
just totally farted there. Singing The Ballad of Serenity.
The opening title.
The opening title to Firefly. You can't take the sky from me. And at first I was a little like, this is kind of weird. And then they all started getting into it because it starts out with just Joe singing, and then they'll
fantastic voice, by the way.
I find that most actors and actresses are able to sing at least moderately decent because they already have to have a pretty good vocal control to be able to act. And so,
there goes my career as an actor.
But no, you could always just play the one guy that sings while he's drunk, and everyone's like, "Oh, stop." Well, anyways, they did this and they released it, and they sung it. It was actually really good.
Yes,
really well done.
I almost enjoy this more than the actual
theme.
Song. Yep.
Well, the actual theme.
It's kind of a country feel to it.
Well, the theme was written by Joss himself.
Yep.
And then he hired someone to play it. And the guy, he has a little Johnny Cash style voice and twang to it, which if you like Johnny Cash,
I do.
You like that? And I like Johnny Cash too. Yeah. And but this one's really interesting, and it's also kind of cool because these guys do all kinds of videos. Videos for fans and stuff, and like Felicity from Arrow always has her bathtub therapy.
Oh, really?
Where she's always like in the tub with bubble bath, and she just like talks about stuff, and it's actually really funny. She's pretty funny.
That seems like a little bit of fanboy service.
She's not. I mean, you can't see anything. It's just bubbles.
That's the point, Scott. It's supposed to be taunting.
But sometimes she's not even in the bath. Like, she's in the tub, but fully clothed, too. So it's kind of funny. So that's pretty funny. She's just laying in there talking.
By the way, I know that Stephen Amell said in an interview that he is going through Marvel Phase 1 right now to prepare himself for a movie role.
All right.
He says it's not a Marvel movie role. Don't start any rumors about that. But I'm going through the movies just to get prepared, and he loves them. Like, he's excited to finish it off with Avengers and everything. So
interesting.
The movie role that he's preparing for is probably going to see Age of Ultron when it comes out.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's like, I just gotta watch it again.
So check out the gospel version of the Ballad of Serenity by the Flash guys, and at the end they thanks, Joss.
Yep.
And then it ends.
Because I'm sure Joss Whedon has had a huge influence on all TV shows that have come out since then.
At least geek related, I would say.
Yeah, because they kind of all have that witty banter.
witty banter, while it's still serious behind it. Yeah. Yep. The next one is a long one. So 35 minutes
If
long.
you've got 35 minutes to spend,
you might want to watch this. This is a supercut. And we've done these before where it's like the supercut of every time they've said, such and such. Or
every time somebody goes, let her go, or something
every
like
time
that.
just let her go or something like that. Well, this one is all of Sylvester Stallone's kills in all of his movies. There's like 536 kills. And it's 35 minutes long of him seeing that. And then, of course, at the end, they pick, here's our favorite one. And they show it, It very interesting. I don't think I would have the patience to watch through it all. But,
No.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah. I know I don't have the patience to watch through this next one.
I didn't either.
So rap battles are really popular these days between popular characters. Epic rap battles of history does a lot. I think we talked about the princess rap battles last week.
With Sarah Michelle Gellar.
But this is Hodor from Game of Thrones versus Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Two characters.
And it is exactly what you're thinking.
Yes.
It is, Hodor. Versus I am Groot.
So
I'm
the
Groot.
Hodor part is fine, and then it's all they have subtitles that are
Of what they're actually saying, what they mean to say, but they can't actually say it.
And the Hodor part is fine because it's one word that you can it's like a Pokemon thing. You can, but
yeah.
I am when he just sits there and goes, I am Groot, and he starts saying it really fast. It kind of like you're just ruining this.
It's odd. The costumes are a little goofy.
Yeah.
Some people really like this.
I mean, we'll post it with everything else to see if you like it.
I think a lot of people are trying to capitalize on the epic rap battle stuff.
Yeah.
And I
Nobody
don't
can do it.
think anyone can do it as good as epic rap battles.
Nice Peter and Epic
Peter.
Lloyd.
So the last one, we weren't actually going to cover this or talk about it at all because
we've seen a lot.
We've seen a lot of it, and it's about a game, Batman Arkham Knight,
which I'm so pissed off that they keep delaying it,
and that's why we weren't going to talk about it. They keep delaying it so often; it's almost to the point where we're like, okay, we've had enough. We've had enough of it. Either release it or don't.
But we said let's check out like a minute of it.
We'll check out a minute. It's like a 7-minute long gameplay trailer. We watched the whole thing. Didn't even realize it.
It was great. I want just somebody to play this game just so I can watch it
and record it.
Yes.
So it's like a movie.
Yes. Please.
It looks, and the graphics look amazing.
And you can tell that like they're putting everything that they possibly can into this final game
to make it epic and stuff. That's all I got for this week. We saw a movie today, but did we see any kind of new trailers? We saw another Ted 2 trailer.
Yeah,
we've already seen that one.
No, the Entourage.
Paul Bart. Yeah, the Entourage movie's got a trailer.
For those of you wondering why we didn't review the movie we saw Get Hard, which is a comedy. We don't really. This is a geek podcast, unfortunately. Look out for Acts of Comedy coming soon.
Yeah. Well, we love comedy movies, but there's not really much to say about them other than
it was funny.
It was funny. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Probably 3.5, 4.
Yeah, 3.5. I think 3.5 is
good. Yeah.
Unless comedies really grab me, like Anchorman or Shaun of the Dead. Like I really don't. It's not. I don't really care about them to review.
The first 21 Jump Street was right there for me, but the second one not so much.
I still haven't seen it. Have you seen the second one?
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, so
I have both.
I didn't ask you. Did you like that?
I enjoyed it. I didn't think I liked it as much as the first one.
Okay.
Because, like I said, it's kind of a rehash of the first one.
All right.
But it's still pretty funny. There's still some funny stuff.
This is all stuff we can talk about off the air.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into the picks of the week.
I'm afraid my protocols are being overridden.
Mr. Stark, we need to talk.
You have reached the life model decoy of Tony Stark. Please leave a message.
This is urgent.
Then leave it urgently. Security breach. It's on you.
Mr. Stark?
Phil, come in.
Phil.
I can't stay.
His first name is Agent.
It's time for our picks of the week.
Yeah.
What we've been geeking out about. And Scott, you've got a really cool one, so I'll let you go first.
All right. So I found a website. And I actually saw it on YouTube. Someone did a review of one of these, but I found their website and I purchased an item. And this item is from a website called bonelabs.com.
Okay.
Do you remember back when you were a kid, You got the T-Rex skeleton that was made out of wood. You put all the little pieces together.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
And
they kind of fell apart.
They kind of fell apart. They kind of didn't stand up on their own. Well, I found a guy that from bonelabs.com. He's doing this on his own. He has a laser cutter, and he cuts skeletons out of plastic.
Cool.
And gives them to you to assemble. Well, they have things like he's got zombies that come out of the ground, and it's their skeletons. He's got a snake that's it's all coiled up on itself,
but it's still
probably about 2 feet long normally, and it's all the bones put together.
That's cool.
Anyways, I bought one, and this one is a lionfish.
Oh yeah,
and I saw the skeleton of it on his gallery, and I went, "Oh, I gotta have that. It's really cool." It comes with a nice clear stand, so that the stand doesn't distract you from the actual skeleton. And
he's got a couple vampire bats.
He's got some vampire bats. He's got a triceratops. He's got a frog. He's got a seahorse. And it's
all skeletons.
All skeletons. And then they're all laser cut out of plastic, so the tolerances are super small. And by that, I mean you snap them together, and they pretty much don't come apart unless you force them apart, which is awesome for something like this because you don't want it to just fall apart while it's on your shelf. But it's all laser cut perfectly on a computer. I'm excited to put this together. I hope it looks fun to build them, and they each have their own difficulty level. The most expensive one, and this is what actually got me the most expensive one.
Okay.
And when I first went to a site, I thought, hey, this is probably going to be pretty pricey because usually when something custom like this comes out,
they're usually
really
in the $100
really
range and everything,
or more. I mean, up to a couple hundred. Well, his most expensive one's like $70. And that's that big snake, that huge snake skeleton.
That's really cool.
I was very shocked with it actually, and I bought one. I bought the lionfish, of course, and that was $30 plus $5 shipping.
That is not too bad.
No, not at all. And I wanted to support him, and I hope that he makes more. I would love to have a whole collection of these. I would love to have different skeletons of both animals on Earth now and other things. A skeleton of a xenomorph,
that would
a skeleton
be cool.
of Yoshi. I mean, just like cool stuff like that. I thought that would be awesome. And that's my pick of the week, bonelabs.com. Check him out. He does all of his purchasing through Etsy, and they actually have a really, really well done purchasing application, whatever you want to call it, where, shopping cart and stuff like that. So don't let that deter you at all. But he's got a gallery, and he's got, you can even watch the video that I watched where they review the snake, and it's really cool. Okay. I mean, I don't know.
I might have to go buy the Triceratops. So.
I can't geek out about it enough. Like, I think it's so awesome. I love stuff like that. I love statues and figures and custom deals and things you assemble. And that's why I told you about Star Trek Axanar having all of their models made. I think that is really awesome. So, something we should check out, and you listeners should go check it out. Support the guy, because the more money he makes off these things, the more he'll be able to make even more, because he has to model them, of course. And Corey, hippopotamus,
a skeletal hippo. Yes.
How cool would that be?
I would definitely buy it.
Alrighty.
Mine, I probably should have had you go second. Actually, mine is not as impressive because we don't know too much about it. I'm a huge fan of Pacific Rim.
Oh, I saw this.
Yes, we talked about this earlier, where we were talking about Robotech. If it's anything like Pacific Rim, we will enjoy it.
Yes,
because Pacific Rim is just dumb good fun. It has been
giant robots punching giant monsters.
Yeah, what more do you want?
You want a plot?
Nope. You want a love story?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Legendary Comics has announced that they are going to do a Pacific Rim comic book series. Or is it Legendary Pictures? I don't know. Legendary.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Is this do we know if it's a prequel or sequel?
I would assume it's a prequel.
Okay, I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, because that'll flesh it out.
They show the first one where the one attacks the Golden Gate Bridge and destroys it.
Yeah,
but I'd love to see them developing the tech and then fighting through it and stuff like that. So I heard about this a while ago. Tales from Year Zero. So yeah, it is
no, that was already out. Oh. Apparently, there's a graphic novel that we have missed.
Add that to my wish list right now.
Yep. I am excited. This is going to be great. The will be called Pacific Rim Tales from the Drift.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
So it's and they're gonna get Del Toro in on it to kind of help him out, which cool.
He's awesome. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I didn't think it would be that good
Yeah.
compared to Bone Labs, because that I'm looking at Bone Labs and it's amazing.
Sometimes I get into this stuff and I get so excited about it.
That's what being a geek is all about.
And I love it.
Yeah.
And anyone that thinks that, you're a big nerd for that kind of stuff, you don't need to be with those. You don't need to be hanging around with those people.
Nope.
Because
have your hobby.
To being excited about something is what makes life great.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, I don't know.
You're good. Yeah.
Can't say much more about it.
Well, if you would like to tell us your pick of the week, or if you buy a Bone Labs and you want to show it off and everything,
send us a picture of your constructed one. I'd love to see it.
You can send that to actsofgeekery@gmail.com.
You can also go on our Facebook page and facebook.com/actsofgeekery.
Or twitter.com. We are at Acts of Geekery, or just use the hashtag Acts of Geekery. We'll find it.
Mm-hmm. You can also check out any videos we've made or any of our podcasts that will get uploaded to YouTube. And you just search for Acts of Geekery, and that's our channel name.
There's some Hearthstone stuff coming, I can tell you that much for sure. And I think you might do a Bone Labs build.
Probably.
Could be cool.
I might do a time-lapse build. Yeah,
that would
never
be
done
cool.
one before.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of neat.
Yeah. Or you can go to iTunes. Leave us a 5-star review there. That helps us get promoted on the front page. It helps us get more fans. And the more fans we get, the more we can do with the podcast.
Yep.
So,
more content, more picks of the week, more videos.
Acts of comedy.
And all of those are ACTS, not AXE.
Wonderful. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Corey.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the Brothers Geek.
Keep geeking out.
Get away from her, you bitch.